Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris in our Roma Galactica series. You know what planet this is. I bet I had a bunch of you yelling at me at the end of the last episode because I got thrown off so badly by that snafu with the freaking fleets and the destroyer counts and the ship displays for the various fleets not showing me all the information that I thought it was showing me. So I was building more ships than I needed to, and I've mostly figured it out, and we'll go to that in a second. But first, I did realize in my frustration, I spent the last several minutes of the episode focusing on that. And I do want to kick off this episode by terraforming Mars into a continental planet. It's going to cost 1,700 energy, which we have, and it's going to take how long? 7,300 days. It's going to be a good while before it's done. Now, the terraforming project, what do we have here? This is Russell Brockbank. We knew about that. That just goes to show you how little time has passed since the end of the last episode when I paused it to figure out what the hell was going on with my fleet. So anyway, I have given one order. The first strike force, which is 10 Justinian-class destroyers, is heading to Classis Missinensis. And then Classis Missinensis will have the 40 destroyer complement I wanted to have. This is 10 Justinian-class, Missinensis already has 10, and 20 Tiberius. So this is perfect balance. Now, Ravenus is a little bit more complicated. They have with them right now 20 destroyers in their fleet. And it looks like it's an even spread. Yeah, it's Tiberius and Justinian class. So I've broken up the Tiberius class second strike force into the second and third strike force. And we're going to have them join with Classis Ravenus. And then we have to build additional destroyers to finish out their destroyer complement, which we will do this episode, I assure you. But good God, that was just the most annoying thing to happen. So newbie note, for those of you still learning the game, that's definitely something to keep an eye on when you are trying to balance your fleet composition, especially when, as we've done this series, when you have a bunch of custom ship designs and you're trying to balance the types of ships in your fleets and have a full representation of all of your classes of ship. So yeah, we also still need to build corvettes. So we're going to let the game tick by for a while those orders are fulfilled. Meanwhile, the third strike force, they're just going to hang out for a bit. I might even disband them, frankly, because I don't know that I need these Tiberius class destroyers, but they're not hurting anything right now aside from dragging down energy production a little bit. Where are they right now? Are they in orbit of a world where they are going to reduce cost? It looks like they are. So as long as they are in orbit of Baltris Continentum, I'll be happy. I'm so glad that finally displays properly. The earliest version of Stellaris, when you sent a planet or a ship to orbit a planet, that indicator didn't pop up. So as long as they're in orbit around this world, we'll get cost reductions thanks to the crew quarters. And things will be okay. So we finally have Mars terraforming up. We've got our various strike forces heading over here. So Classis Ravenus is going to need some more destroyers. We're going to take a look at what specifically they need. They're at Earth, so I can very quickly crank out additional ships as needed. Here comes the second strike force now. Nice. What do we have? Hyper shields are done. Excellent. So now we have access to... These are for forces... Ooh, element 0. This is, I always see this as element 0, even though it's called Zero. I see this and I'm a Mass Effect fan, so it's like, hey, Zero. Now, we currently, I think we're trading for this right now, but that wouldn't take long to get. Ooh, the Curator Archaeology Lab would be good too, though, since we have access to this. This is good for our science ships. We should go for that. It's only 10 months away. Let's do that. Since we're still exploring a lot, that would be really useful to have. And speaking of that, we might be able to improve the opinion of some of these guys. No, we're already at 100 opinion with most of them, so we're okay. And we have one of their scientists already. All right, so here comes that strike force. We've learned a great deal by living in proximity of the wandering forest on Calm Pruine. Some enterprising colonists have even built homes in the treetops of some of the larger specimens, following the force around as they migrate across the planet. Some of the foremost biologists in the Roman Star Empire have spent time studying these unique trees. So we're getting 350 society research from this, which shaved off a whole month from the galactic campaigns. All right, so you need to come back and upgrade your stuff. Actually, it looks like I think everyone's going to have to upgrade again. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you do your upgrades. You're still heading in for upgrades. I have a number of science ships that are on their way in. Can I Control-Shift-Click this? Yes, I can. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. You can just basically... So I should just be doing this. I can just Control-Shift-Click the upgrade button. I don't have to queue anything up after it, including auto-explore orders. Getting used to that command still. I haven't had a chance to play Stellaris a lot outside of this series and solo play since I've gotten so many good tips, so that's been one of the weird things about doing this. All right, let's see. You need to do your upgrades. Actually, everyone needs to upgrade. Better shields. Go get them. Alright, so Classis Ravenus now has 30 destroyers, and there should be a certain one we need more of. Justinian class, I believe. We've got a bunch of Tiberius class. Yep, we need more Justinian class. So we're going to build those at Earth. Alright, that's 5 more. Still need to get a few more than that. Okay, so the Bronze Age of Tav Kaleba, Bronze Age aliens of Tav Kaleba have advanced sufficiently to be considered an Iron Age civilization. Nice. Frantic signal bursts from the moon alerted us to the fact that the old drones on planet have woken yet again. This time they bring us a significant prize as they have unearthed an ancient satellite from the depths of their moon and partially repaired it. We do not know how the satellite ended up there, nor why the drones have ignored it until now. Regardless, even if a fragment of its databanks have survived, there is a lot we can learn about day-to-day life in the empires that the drones first served. Fascinating. All right, we're getting to a point where, after I build a few more ships, especially, my corvettes, we're going to have the ability to attack the fortress. I'm very excited about that. New research project. Let's see what we got. Good. Curator Archaeology Labs are done. Shield hit points plus 5% is tempting. Guardian point defense is also tempting. Let's go ahead and go for improved assist research, just because that's another base technology we could probably benefit from having sooner than later. And now the Curator Archaeology Labs should automatically install on all of my science ships because they're all on the way in for those. Right? Yeah, you're all about to get upgraded. So let's have a quick look at what those do for us, for those of you who may be curious. Go down to our science ship model. Oh, interesting. Where's the archaeology lab? Is it an accessory? This might be something I have to add separately. What's going on here? Have we not finished researching it? I thought we did. We totally did. What's going on? What's going on? Hyperdrive. No, there's no slots up here because this thing can't have weapons. Huh. Okay, so it looks like we already have the exploration lab on there. Okay, here's the archaeology. I was just expecting it to have a different color to it, but it doesn't. All right, so this improves anomaly. I like survey speed being faster. So actually, yeah, that makes sense that that's the one on board. So we already have the exploration lab, and the ships are just going to stick with that. Okay, that's fine. We can specialize some science ships to be better at archaeology, I suppose. But right now, I would rather they survey as many worlds as possible, because again, we're getting science boosts from every world they do that to. All right, so hang on, how are we doing here? I didn't quite build all the ships I needed to. Is it Classis Ravenus that's at Earth? Yes, it is. It's mixed up. I would think Missinensis would be at Earth, but it's Ravenus. Maybe that was what caused part of my screw up earlier. So, in the last episode, so right now we have 32 destroyers, and we're working on building 5 more. So we need to queue up 3 more altogether. Need a little bit more time to pass, though.
Ships upgraded.
Nice.
Ships upgraded.
1 more. It's going to take a sec for these minerals to build up. Unless we trade for them, but hang on. Now we have access to cheaper war demands. Ooh, we can get another core system. Really? I don't know if we're quite ready to go there yet. Empire leader capacity +1 is also, like, we need that yesterday. We need that for our new sector, actually. So let's go ahead and do that, because that's going to help us expand in the north while we prepare to attack the enigmatic fortress, which, again, I am focusing on doing that as rapidly as I can. I just need to figure out what the hell was going on with our ships last episode, and now I kind of have got it on lock. So we just need to build up our fleets to the preferred strength. Like, there need to be 10 battleships here. Incoming transmission. Hello, friends. You may recognize me as the scientist that went missing on Krenodeth. My sudden disappearance was quite intentional, I assure you. The natives here have come to see me as something of a god. And why shouldn't they? After much deliberation, I have decided to bring true civilization to these savages. You're insane. Played by username. Okay, thanks. On the contrary, I have never felt more sane. The death of the Roman Star Empire is inevitable. You'd have to be blind not to see the signs. Oh, I may take anything from a decade to a century, or it may take anything from a decade to a century, but your downfall will come. After you have finished destroying yourselves, the galaxy will belong to the vibrant young culture such as the one I'm in the process of building. There's little more to say. I bid you farewell. We just lost a researcher in the midst of dealing with that nonsense. So we need preferably a computing researcher. We've got enough influence to recruit whoever we want. What other types of projects are we running right now? The materials and a statecraft project. So there's a statecraft researcher we can hire, Denalea Taurus. I love that bonus that we're getting. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Denalea in charge of that category, and we're going to put Dr. Jeeb in charge of that category. Now we're 52 months away from Empire Leader capacity, so we just basically synced up those bonuses, as is ideal to do whenever you can. Now let's see. We're almost done here. We've got 5 built. Need to queue up 1 more, then I'll be good. Alright, so our destroyer complements will be complete. I want 40 in each of these. I just want to make sure that we get our cruiser complement and Classis Ravenus built up. So that's, again, that's the fleet around Earth. And right now they have 15 cruisers. Let's see what classes they are.
Ships upgraded.
Looks like 10 Trajan class and 5 Hadrian class, so we need 5 Hadrian class cruisers. We don't quite have the money for those yet, so we're just going to sit and let some money build up for a bit. We could also exchange minerals, but again, I don't want to go below 3,000 because that would hurt our influence situation. The erratic behavior of the narcoleptic drones have taken a violent turn. A number of them woke and entered the atmosphere of Hojaka Montum, as is their wont, only to slam into the surface of the planet at full thrust, repeatedly in many cases. Damage to the colony was negligible, but the nigh invulnerable drones were destroyed in bright showers of blue sparks, indicative of the tremendous force of and dedication to their self-destruction. Can we find out what was wrong with them? I don't know. Do we have a project for that yet? No, we don't. All right, this construction ship is idle at Illustrata. Where else can I potentially build things? Looks like we have a pretty lucrative system to improve there. We need to head out this direction, and also looks like there's an observation post needed there, so let's take care of that. Is this a... What age are you? Machine age? Oh, okay. We need to keep a close eye on them. They're fairly advanced in the grand scheme of things. Okay, that's a little bit out of our territory. Okay, we're actually out of money, but that's fine.
Research complete.
Riggin Commerce Exchange. So we've met yet another trader enclave. Not bad. Pause, please. Well met. All right, so we need to get there, whatever their special resource is. But first, let's see what new technology we have access to. We do need to go for Zro. Sentient AI is a dangerous technology. That's why I'm avoiding it. But yeah, let's go ahead and go for Zro. Because if we have access to that, that will be a little bit closer. We'll be just one element away from getting a little bit more influence out of one of our factions. Assuming we can, of course. Hang on, let's take another look at that really quick. It's the Business Analyst Initiative, our largest faction. We definitely want to do this. This is going to increase their happiness by, I don't know how much, but I'm assuming about 4 or 5%, because the first one was 2, the next one was 3, so I'm assuming there's some kind of pattern there. And let's have a look really quickly at Illustrata, since we can pull this up immediately. I love that hotkey. That's awesome. So this has you're human Illustratum. So you're a xenophile. You're a xenophile. Yeah, I'm just looking for Illustratums. Okay, we've got an authoritarian here, which is just fine. Like, as long as their ethics develop in ways that are preferable to me. You know, the ethics system has changed. We talked about this in the comments a few episodes back. We can take a look really quickly at our empire. Actually, I think it's on the factions screen. Yeah. These are the ethics that are most attractive in our empire. And it's actually pretty spread out. There's an egalitarian ethic, all things considered. I'm really surprised that it's like this, considering, I mean, our species is materialist, militarist, and authoritarian. So these governing ethics should get nice boosts from the various things that we've been doing to boost our governing ethics. You know, they should build up pretty well. Speaking of that, hang on. Let's maybe go back to, is it policies? F6. Need to remember that hotkey. Information quarantine. We could do this, and this would increase the attraction. It would reduce our incoming influence, but I'm going to do it. We still have 3.5 influence per month coming in, but we need to turn that back on because, frankly, I'm not pleased, again, with how that's been going. If we go back to factions, these should be much higher. The fact that there is almost as much pull from egalitarianism as there is from authoritarianism makes me upset. Shows that people are wandering from the Roman way, so we need to do what we can to keep that under control and make sure the more divergent factions don't become more of a threat. All right, we are very close to a point where I feel like I'm going to be confident in attacking the enigmatic fortress. I really want to hit about 40k, and we need to build, again, our largest ships in classes for Venice. We still need battleships and cruisers, and then we need to build a bunch of corvettes, which will be relatively cheap. But we just need to wait for things to build up first. Okay, looks like we need to build a science lab there. Let's see if there's anything else we can upgrade. I doubt it, but worth checking. We've been doing lots of building. And let's take a look at our terraforming project. How's that coming? Still a good ways away. Good ways away. It's going to be done in a long time. But we're terraforming it. It's not going to be done really anytime soon. It's kind of like a similar project length to a megastructure. Those are going to take, you know, on the order of 3, 4, 5 episodes, you know, to build like one stage of it. It's ridiculous. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. Could it be a distress transponder?
Construction complete.
Okay, so we can upgrade that. Let's go ahead and do it. What do we need more research? Looks like physics, as per usual. It's the running theme. The surviving drones have been missing since the oh, nice, we have a new tradition. Since the suicide incident, history buffs on Hojaka Montum are convinced the drones are still in close proximity, shielded from prying eyes by some lost technology. But the expected time window for their next activation has come and gone. Progress on deep analysis of the destroyed drones' remains has been slow, but a breakthrough is expected soon. Keep me posted. This is huge. This is a new Ascension perk. So first of all, this is going to increase planet happiness, or when we're assisting research, by 10%. So it's not a universal increase, but we will also finish this tree. So all of our research will speed up by 10%. You might not see the increases here, but you might see the increases on this screen. And then of course we'll have access to a new Ascension perk. Done. So, Engineered Evolution. So this is the first Ascension perk in the biological. The flesh is weak. This is the first in the what's it called? Synergy or symbiotic ascension? I can't quite remember. It starts with an S. World Shaper. This increases terraforming speed. That's quite nice. Galactic Force Projection increases our naval capacity by 200. Defender of the Galaxy gives us extra damage against all possible threats that might come at the end of the game, which I do want to make sure I have that at some point, but we're not going to go there just yet. Galactic Contender, damage to fallen empires and awakened empires, mastery of nature. So again, this is going to reduce the cost of blockers, but it'll still take time to clear them. Voidborn unlocks habitats, and then I believe in order to get master builders, we need Voidborn or Galactic Wonders. What's Galactic Wonders? Oh, okay, gotcha. This is the one that actually unlocks the Century Array, Science Nexus, and Dyson Sphere. But this requires the Mega Engineering technology, and I don't think we're going to get Mega Engineering until we unlock Voidborn. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get that until we get that. So, if we have access to habitats first before we have access to anything else, we're going to need to start building lots of habitats. The thing is, once you have access to them, once you are able to build them, I think we should go for habitats, honestly, because this is going to help us build some specialized stations that can increase our science output and just do ridiculous amounts. But also Engineered Evolution is very tempting from a... Yeah, see, this can help us modify ourselves faster, which would also help us research-wise. Let's go ahead and go for Engineered Evolution, because this is going to make humans so much better, and it's going to increase our Oh, man. This is a tough decision. I want that so badly, but I also... I want to start moving toward... Oh, crap. Alright, well... And then there's Imperial Prerogative, which gives +5 core sector systems. Let's go ahead and go for Voidborn. Let's do it. Yes, I want Voidborn. I want to be able to build habitats. And now we are going to be able to build those around our various planets. We're going to need to build more construction ships to get them started. So first things first, let's go ahead and queue up a construction ship, Ikenka class. Okay, so the Dimizanian Citizen Compact wants a research agreement, and they're willing to pay me for it. Sure. Not a problem. All right, so we're starting to build up some more minerals. Also, the Technocracy's borders just expanded a little bit. A little bit of society research from the Ancient Life Pod. Shave 3 months off that research project. We're 6 months away from the Zro research project. We are receiving a weak signal from the surface of this moon. The source appears to be some kind of tracking beacon. Nice.
Construction complete. System survey complete.
The Haram have made great strides in centralizing the various planetary governments, with political power redirected towards a few capable leaders. The inefficiencies of mob rule are slowly being weeded out of their society. They will thank us one day. We will see that a lot. So again, we are using this particular post to indoctrinate these aliens. They're just Iron Age, so, I mean, it's going to be a long time before there's any point to it. But, for instance, we could... Yeah, let's go ahead and indoctrinate these guys, because these aliens are a little bit closer to us. We need to be indoctrinating all of them, frankly. This is going to reduce our science output a little bit, as you can see. Our society output just went down as a result of that. So the RSS efforts. You should now have the option to build habitats, but it's ridiculously expensive. So it's going to be a while before we can build those, because I want to divert my mineral costs and my minerals in general towards new ships. That's my priority at the moment. This construction ship needs things to do. And there's actually not much more that needs to be done, unless you come out here. But there's not even that much over here, all things considered. I'll tell you what, you go ahead and come this direction. I don't think I've queued these up yet, so I'll go ahead and give these orders. The only downside, of course, to overlapping orders the way that I've been doing, honestly more in this series than anywhere else, is that it does eat up minerals. Speaking of eating up minerals, let's go ahead and make sure that we're good here. Research aid is still going. And we do need to look into their new strategic resource that we got access to. So we want to trade for minerals. Let's trade in... Okay, that's good. 500 for 1,000. And let's pay a visit to the Rigan Commerce Exchange. Oh, we should have traded with them, because that's what gives us opinions. That's what gives us the opinion bonus that will give us access to their strategic resource. So next time we trade, we'll trade with them. We just need to stay above 3,000 for reasons that I have discussed. We'll keep that construction ship where it is. I was about to say colony ship. What do we have? All right. The Quiptilium State has declared Kingdom of Yondrum their rival. And there's a defensive pact between the Dimizanian Citizen Compact and the Quiptilium State. Nice. So we have access to Zro. And do we already have some? Yes, we do. Perfect. So now we're at 9 strategic resources, and all I need is a 10th. Ooh, capacitor fields. These are for stations, but they're quite handy. Neutron torpedoes. I think that's my next step. UV lasers is tempting, but we're not using lasers on our ships right now, so let's go ahead and research those. Defensive pact imitation. Okay. General Eileen Brock has died. So our generals that were holding down the fort on the original territory that we conquered several episodes back have passed on. Rest in peace. Optical sensors isolate a cluster of shapes on the barren surface of Mang 8 that could be buildings. Research, please. Okay, I think, with the exception of how we're doing on pops right now, we're at 8. As soon as we hit 10 on this world...
Incoming transmission.
What do we have? Non-aggression pact invitation. I really don't want to, because it would reduce my influence. Sorry. Alright, so we have a decent amount of extra minerals now. Let's go ahead and take a look at destroyers. Pretty happy with what we've got at the moment. I kind of want to... Honestly, I kind of want to just disband these guys, and that's what I'm going to do, because we would get more... It's a shame. Well, no, let's keep them. Let's keep them because we can send them in the fight, and if we lose them, then that's 10 buffer destroyers that I have after the fact. Because we're more likely to lose the small ships in combat with the enigmatic fortress than we are the large ones. All right, so it's Classis Ravenus that needs more ships. So you are in orbit of Earth, and what do you have again? You have 10 Trajan class cruisers, but only 5 Hadrian class. So yeah, we need those Hadrian class. I know I already looked at this, but it's been a while since I did, so. Oh, nice. There we go. That's all of the cruisers we need. And then we just need to queue up 5 more battleships at some point. And we may be ready. Those battleships are going to add a good amount of attack strength. Okay, so there's unusual tectonics on Mang 8. What do we have? Trade deal offer? So they're willing to give me Teldar crystals and Aurelium... Oh no, Granthium ore for extra ship hull points and energy weapon damage. And they want Teldar crystals and Aurelium. Remind me what those two? Explosive weapon damage and Teldar. Okay, that's fine. And then that should give us a bonus, I believe, with the Business Analysts Initiative. No, we don't actually control 10 of them. We're just receiving some in trade deal, so that does not give us a bonus. Word to the wise. Sorting out the errant innards of the shattered drones took much longer than anticipated, as each drone seems to have been built from a slightly different design, assembled from slightly different parts. Once this fact was established, one thing stood out: the parts that were identical. Separated from the rest, it is clear these parts are of somewhat modern, if alien, make. It is likely that someone has done what we could not, and tampered with the drones. This warrants further investigation.
System survey complete.
All right, nice. We're getting lots of surveying done. Again, every system survey that you see, every planet survey, in fact, is going to be helpful in terms of getting more science. Life signs have been detected coming from the inside of the atmosphere of this gas giant. Good. Still nothing else to do out here. We probably need to colonize a new world pretty soon. Let's go ahead and colonize Valdup 2. Do we have access to that new leader point yet? We're going to soon, so let's go ahead. This is a continental world. This is worth doing. It's only 30 influence points. Let's send humans from Earth directly. And land them where? Looks like that's going to be a pretty good spot, all things considered. Yep, let's go there. This is Valdup Continentum, if I can type. Something about typing Continentum is hard for me. All right, so let's take a look down here. Earth is currently building our new ships. Our attack fleet, Classis Ravenus, is getting stronger by the day. So I think once we have over 40k, which should be hopefully next episode if we can get those battleships built. It takes a while to build up that level of resources, but once we have over 40k, we're going to go for the enigmatic fortress. We have discovered a thriving ecosystem in the upper atmosphere of the gas giant Boaway 4. Massive floating creatures having evolved bodies filled with lighter-than-air gases follow the wind currents and feed off the energy released by the gas giant's frequent lightning storms. These beings in turn support colonies of smaller animals that prey on atmospheric plankton and each other. Fascinating. All right, we'll tell you what, we're 28 minutes in here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one, and in the next one, we are very likely, I'm going to keep the game on fast speed as much as I can, and we are very likely going to actually finish building up Classis Ravenus with 10 battleships. We need to build some... The big thing is going to be corvettes, actually, because we don't have any of our corvettes or torpedo boats, and we need those to be fodder, if anything. The torpedo boats will also be good at doing damage. So before we go charging in, we need to have at least 20 corvettes in each fleet, preferably 30, and that's going to impact our income a little bit. But we have plenty of room in our naval capacity, and so far our energy production is still pretty good. So I'll just have to kind of play it by ear a little bit as after I build the battleship and see where our energy surplus is. Again, once we take these ships out of orbit too, that's going to drop. Because declaring war in Stellaris is like declaring war in real life. As soon as you have a war going and you've got your ships mobilized, it costs a lot of money and you start going bankrupt slowly but surely. So yeah, we're going to focus on getting ready for this. It's going to happen within an episode or two, tops. I just need to make sure we have the ships ready to do it. I'm not 100% on like needing the corvettes, but I would like to have them. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 6 Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.